Welcome to our first match of coverage here. These players are 1-0. Slight hiccup to start our morning. Sorry, we missed that very first one. But we are absolutely ready to go. One speed already ready as we get the new Burnout Bastronaut here in space on our first match in Spotlight Planetary Rotation. I mean, this is so fitting.
I love the speed being on 1 before the game even starts. Love it.
Yes. I guarantee Willy played it and they're like, well, we're not ready yet. All right, so second mountain, just a land from Francisco. Getting ready here. Demir mid-range up against Mono Red. How do you like that matchup, Jim?
It's pretty interesting. You know, the Demir deck is an aggressive deck by nature where it's a disruptive aggressive deck. It wants to kind of get in, get some early creatures, run Kaido, and then kill some stuff. Red gets up under that. You know, typically red decks have been good against these sort of Delvery, cheap interactive spells. And then some of these changes, like we see here, Razorkin Needlehead on the board, good against card draw, Enduring Curiosity, kind of a bit of a liability with a Needlehead in play. So
might have to side that bad boy out, huh?
Yeah, so and cool to see this is the anti-VV card, but still has applications in other matchups.
Yep, absolutely love it. So we see couple creatures hitting the battlefield. We see the Azure Beastbinder here. That's another card that's very great at shutting down creatures that want to be adding a bunch of mana with VV, and just a good aggressive threat. But yeah, I'm with you. I think Demir midrange can have a really nice matchup against these red decks if they respect it.
Right.
But to respect it, you got to play a lot of removal, and spot removal isn't necessarily good against the big bad of the format. So we'll see how this matchup ends up.
Yeah, Demir is a deck where you can be good against what you want to be good against, but you usually win or lose games in deck building.
Yeah. And that's the thing is Demir has one of the best sideboards. Mm-hmm. So being able to always be flexible where, game one, you might not be as good. Post-board games, you can mix and match your deck to be good against anything. Witchstalker Frenzy there, taking down the creature after a couple attacks get in, and we're almost up to full speed here. Speed 3.
Pedal to the metal.
I believe it was Tokyo Drift, but whatever, All right, gets in some damage here. And when you get to max speed, this Bastronaut really does hit hard. Really the only thing for max speed in the whole deck that matters is the card we are seeing, but getting Double Strike definitely matters. Yeah,
Double Strike, Menace, and the Pump Effect puts it in a spot where you tap out against it, you basically get a whole lot of damage out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Cecil, a card that a little scary against Mono Red, where you kind of toe the line a little bit.
Yeah.
If you flip it, it's great. Until you do, it's a little sketchy.
Really reminds me of a lot of Mono Red burn up against Death Shadow back in the day.
Yep.
You always think oh, this card is not good. This deck is not good against red, and then you see Seth Manfield play against a Mono Red deck and just be very patient and kind of makes it work. But we shall see. All right, here is one of the new cards here from Edge of Eternity. One of our most powerful cards in the deck, Nova Hellkite. This card's incredible.
Yeah, really, really good card. Hell's Thunder and Glurbringer had a baby,
Yeah, I mean, back in my day, for 3 mana to deal 4 damage, you had to take 2 yourself. You had to cast Char and hope for the best.
Which worked out sometimes.
It really did, yeah.
Yeah, so the 1 damage ping here on the Hellkite, pretty sweet. The first strike on Needlehead, plus the damage ping, making blocks here a little awkward.
Yeah. There's Bitter Triumph. Gonna discard a card here. But like you said, first strike damage should deal with Cecil straight away. And doesn't take 2 because it doesn't deal damage. I believe that's how it works.
Correct. So
yeah.
So the first strike, while the Cecil dies, it won't be doing the damage on the way out. So a little win, little loss.
Yeah, definitely a win for Francisco because, no matter what, just taking that extra damage would have been brutal here. But keeping the creature alive is big game. And look at that respect to Nova Hellkite. A lot of the things you want to be doing is, okay, take the 4, and then the next time when they pay full price for it, then you deal with it. But then you get that cat and mouse game of, all right, now maybe Willy won't play it. Now that you clearly have removal up, play 2 other creatures. Maybe animate a Soulstone Sanctuary. That information that is face up, a good player uses that against your opponent, and maybe doesn't just jump into the, I have 5 mana, let's go.
Yeah, for sure. It's the kind of card where warping being face up can work to your advantage.
Yeah, it really can. And man, the bat coming down, Deep Cavern Bat to take a look at the hand. Burst Lightning takes it down, and gotta say, bat looks a lot worse when you have a 3 mana card that warps in, deals 4, and kills a bat.
Yeah, if Hellkite kills something,
oh,
we were off to the races.
So good. So absolutely powerful. So we are max speeded up. The Bastronaut's able to essentially deal 6, but wants to get the Screaming Nemesis going anyways. And this just looks like Willy Edel's easy victory for game 1 with Francisco missing some land drops.
Yeah, missing land drops is huge here. Really can't afford to fall behind. And we can see that the first 2 creatures that Willy played are still on the board.
Yes, that's a bad sign.
Right.
And I mean, looking at Francisco's main deck here, we're going to be looking at the sideboard here real soon. There is only 6 removal spells. For Demir, that feels a little low. Most of the time, there's a lot more. So, all right, looking at Francisco Gonzalez's sideboard here, we have 2 Annul, 2 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Duress, 1 Ghost Vacuum, 1 Imitation's Tactics, 2 Negates, 1 Preacher of the Schisms, 1 our little negative dragon there, our Scavenger Regent, 1 Strategic Betrayal, and 1 The End. I like that that was at the end. I think that's very fitting. Oh, no, I didn't see the next row, Jim. Dang it. Okay, never mind. 1 Tidebinder as well. What are you bringing in?
This is tough. This is a sideboard that does not look very ready for mono red. We see a lot of anti-graveyard, a lot of counter spells. Preacher of Schism is very nice. I think Tidebinder is pretty cool. It's cool at countering the triggers on the links and things like that. Aside from that, maybe a Betrayal for an extra kill spell, maybe the Dragon, but there's not a lot here that says, hey, I'm ready to beat mono red.
Yeah.
Gonna make things tough.
How does Tidebinder work with the Nova Hellkite if you kind of warp it in? That doesn't really work that profitably, right? Does it just stay in hand, I imagine?
So if you counter the 1 damage trigger, the Hellkite will no longer have haste and therefore can't attack.
But it will not get warped out?
I believe it does still warp out. I believe that's a condition of the paying the warp cost. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I believe that's how it works. So it's okay there. It stops the haste.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Good against the links as well to stop the damage there. A few things here and there. It can stop triggers on, Razorkin or Higher Claw. But it's not great, but probably better than,
Kaidos, probably, right? Like you take out Kaidos?
Maybe some, it's tough because there isn't much else to take out. We see Lord Skitter here is, okay, Phantom Interference, Faebloom Trick, these kind of finicky cards that aren't good when you're behind. And the mono red deck is going to be trying to get ahead as much as possible and probably getting underused. So a bit of an uphill battle for Francisco here.
Makes a lot of sense. And then from our Hall of Famer, Willy Edel, we got 1 Abrade, 2 Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Who's the VV deck now? I love that. 1 Chandra Spark Hunter, 1 Fiery Annihilation, 1 Fire Magic, 3 Magebane Lizards, 1 Obliterating Bolt, 1 Shock, 2 Sunspine Links, and then 2 Vengeful Possession. What do you like here?
I love the Shock. Just the old classic, Yeah. Forget Burst Lightning. We got Shock here, too.
Well, 4 Burst Lightning in the main. Come on, bro.
I know, but I'm just putting some respect in the OG.
I do love it.
But yeah, a few cheap removal spells, We want to see more of the same from Willy, kind of like keep a small creature off the board. In reality, the Demir deck is a mid-range deck.
Yeah.
But it is a deck that needs to kind of get snowballing, where the big cards in the deck, Enduring Curiosity and Kaido, both rely on having small things in play. So if Willy's able to kind of pick things off one by one, not let Francisco get going, things get really, really ugly. So a few kill spells, keep it kind of cheap, keep it kind of lean.
Okay, I absolutely love it. And if you want to be attending one of our next events here, SCGCon Houston is going to be coming up. This is going to be our next wave of regional championships. Remember, everyone, the U.S., we do have 2 of these events, so we'll make sure to be bringing you fantastic coverage of both of them. It's going to be October 17th through the 19th. If you want to check out the hashtag there, hashtag SCG Houston. And if you want some more information, it's starcitygames.com/SCGCon. That's going to be modern. We're going to be live streaming that one on YouTube as well. And these events are great. We have a ton of different side events that we have. CDH 5Ks, modern 5Ks. I mean, there's Super Sunday RCQs. I know you love this. The Mystery Booster 2 sealed events. You cannot come to one of these events and showing up on Friday where you don't see Jim Davis just giving away wins here in these Mystery Monsters 2 sealed events.
I was with you until that last part.
It's like it's candy. It's like, oh, you sit down against them, you get a win, you get a win, you get a win. Is that correct, Jim?
Everything up until that last part sounded very accurate, yes.
Okay. Gotcha. So you make them work for the wins that they inevitably get.
A few, yeah.
Okay. So make sure and join us at SCG Houston. It's going to be an incredible time. Make sure to get qualified for that one, as well as, of course, you can LCQ in. We've seen plenty of players at the regional championship circuit that maybe, hey, didn't have time to qualify. They come in, win an LCQ, go on and win the event, like Jesse Robkins, one of our most recent ones. So cool stuff.
Love those events. Love seeing players go to the Pro Tour. The last few rounds of an RC are so exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Not just from a coverage perspective, like just walking around the room. Even the player who, just makes that top 32, they win the last match, they're not playing for top 8, but they're hugging their friends, they're crying, they're screaming. It was cute for their first Pro Tour. Love it.
I still get chills. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I'm man enough to admit it here. I cry a little bit. I tear up when I see somebody, high-fiving and realizing their dreams, slowly coming true. It's nothing better than it. Because we've both lived it at some point. Yep. Our first moment, we can both remember that forever.
Nothing like your first Pro Tour.
Yeah, absolutely. How'd you do in your first Pro Tour?
I lost to Javier Dominguez in the last round playing for cash.
Really?
Yep. So it was Pro Tour Honolulu 2006. I didn't know who he was at the time.
Yeah.
And then when they were deleting the DCI stuff, I went back and went like, oh, cool. Like, let me check my records and stuff. And I'm like, there it was. Javier Dominguez, round 16, Pro Tour Honolulu. I'm like, oh, okay, that's someone good to lose to. That's fine,
Very similar to me. Mine was Hollywood 08, where Charles Gindy won with Elves, and I got to play Bitter Blossom Cryptic Command in my first Pro Tour and stuff. And I lost to this unknown player at the time named Yuta Takahashi. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yep. He was playing Blue-White Revelark, which was a great matchup for me. And I lost playing for the Riku. I was already in the cash, though, Jim. Already in the cash.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, yep. Took 55th, top 50, went to Berlin.
Well, I was already queued for the next PT because I won my first PTQ, and then before that Pro Tour, I won a PTQ for the next format too.
Oh my God!
So
all right, you're the GOAT.
Yep.
You're the GOAT. I'll give it up to you.
I'm gonna keep one-upping. All right.
It's not hard to do. Let me tell you, you got a good career.
I wasn't gonna say that, but if you're gonna say it for me, it's fine.
All right, looks like we had a mulligan from Willy. Put one card to the bottom, kept us 6, and here we go. Francisco Gonzalez starting it off with our very powerful flyer, getting a map. And heading on over to Willy.
One drop is so important.
It really is. Really is.
For this deck in general, but particularly in this matchup where Francisco has to get on the board and be able to kind of stick things before he starts killing things.
Oh, boy. Jim, I've eagle-eyed something.
Okay.
Francisco kept a one-lander, so this map has to connect with a land or we have to top deck one. Otherwise, we have no play next turn if this gets destroyed. Okay, you at least get to map it up.
I was going to say, don't tell Willy, because if he's got a removal spell.
Yes.
There was certainly a pause there. It seemed like, do y'all want to kill your Siren or deploy a creature? Willy goes for the
Maybe
lizard.
he had the Soul Read and is like, I can't not play the Claw.
Yep.
Hired Claw coming in. One of the best one-drops here for these red decks. Bloomburl had some of its mice taken away, had some of its extremely powerful creatures gone, and Hired Claw still here to hang out. And I know Cecil was one of the other cards in hand for Francisco. So no matter what, we have a follow-up. Everything is online, and we're good to go here.
Big hit. Yeah. Willy has no idea how important that hit was.
Yes. And honestly, I love the wrist. Maybe on the play it's a little questionable, but we see a lot of times player come into the feature match, first time in the feature match of the tournament, and maybe they just mulligan to Oblivion because they're playing a little too safe. I like some risk being taken.
Yeah, a lot of fear when you're playing against a Hall of Famer on camera, one of the early rounds, little jitters. But, yeah, I agree. I like that.
Absolutely. Lightning Strike. Hell yeah. Got to love that. Dealing with Cecil here. There was another Cecil in hand for Francisco, but gets that killed straight away and gets in for 2.
Now, the good thing here, like I said, is that we see the one drop, the Siren's still in play.
Yes.
So something is still in play. Now options open up. A Kaido or some other big play. Kaido, just keep this ball rolling and don't fall behind. Falling behind is a death knell in this matchup.
I'm really curious if any Kaidos are left in the deck because I have always taken all of them out, play or draw against red. I just felt like it was far too much of a liability if it gets shot down, but we'll see. Definitely on the play is the only time you'd want them, but we'll see.
My fear is that there just weren't really many cards to bring in.
Yeah.
So I think that some number is probably still in the deck. And again, I think play draw is a huge difference as well.
Yeah, for sure. So there is the bat, and has to take the Hellkite, it would seem.
Yeah.
Just imagine if there's another Hellkite off the top, though, Jim.
I would enjoy that. I like that card a lot.
But Francisco does not. So there is Cecil number 2 as well. So a great turn 3 from Francisco to assemble a powerful battlefield. Has the best keyword in lifelink up against mono red. That is very huge.
I love the lifelink plus Cecil duo. It's like gain life, lose life, gain life, lose life, gain life. But Cecil won't flip because you're not really getting there all the way, So
I believe that's what we call a Nambo.
Yep.
All right, speed 1 comes down.
I got the double goblin. Say go. Willy pumping the brakes.
But you can't pump the brakes below 50 miles an hour for Speed 1. It's the whole plot. Sorry for the spoilers, but
55.
Is it 55?
Maybe it's 50. I don't know.
I think it's 50. I don't know. Let us know in the chat, y'all. Yeah. This is very important.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Oh, fantastic movie. All right, so there is the Sunspine linked. No other cards in hand. So living off the top here from Willy.
Yeah, that's huge. You know,
this is turning up great for Francisco.
Yeah, I think Francisco, the more 1 and 2 mana spells Francisco draws, the better.
Yes.
And now you saw the Curiosity in hand, a little flash there. Like, now is the spot where that card can actually really come in and get some work done. Yep. You got to put this thing away.
All right, let's see what the top deck is. We need a big one here from Willy. I mean, Francisco had 19 here, pretty much the battlefield stabilized, Enduring Curiosity, and a Drowner ready to go, as well as one other mystery card. It's definitely Francisco's game to lose.
Yeah, and the Drowner checks the best possible draw in the Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now with that not even drawn, get the Claw out of here, and now, yeah, for sure.
All right, here comes a couple attacks. Now, no matter what, we're going to get some damage in, as they are Menace. And this is a smart attack, because no matter what, Willy gets to kill a creature and doesn't have to deal damage to the Cecil. Just gets to accept this trade with the Spygas Siren and pump the other one if you have absolutely nothing else to do. Or you can also still pump the Hired Claw. Speed 2, I think they were on a boat.
I don't think I saw that one.
It got worse, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Speed 5 on like a lawnmower. Yeah. It's like a ride-on lawnmower. If there's any movie studios out there want to steal my idea, we'll talk. Call me.
Yeah. Right? You got it for sale? That brilliant idea?
Yeah, we'll talk.
Wow. So decides to pump up the Claw. And now a starting town as the 4th land there. A little brutal as we had that Enduring Curiosity get going, and it might have been at the end as the other card. It was one of those alternate art versions. So, a little bit of reprieve here from Willy to be able to get back into this, but Willy still needs a big draw.
Yeah, for sure. And those counters on the Higher Claw, to be clear, we have a +1/+1 counter and a stun counter.
Absolutely, yep.
So that's why it looks a little weird there if you're confused. I got you.
Plus and a negative. It's just a 1/2 now.
That's not how this works.
That's just math, Jim. Doesn't attack with Cecil here. Cecil is such an interesting card in these red decks because, I think I agree with how Francisco is playing it. Wait till you get a little bit lower, and then, hey, if you're at 12, let's flip this bad boy. But until then, maybe not as good. All right, that is a Shoot the Sheriff there instead, so even better than the end. Able to kill a non-mercenary, which is not perfect anymore these days. There is a very important mercenary that is unkillable, and that's Mako.
Ah, yes.
Yep. Pirates everywhere.
That's a card that requires a keen eye. It's like, what can this actually kill?
Yep.
Not quite as simple as just, artifact or non-black creature.
Or Doomblade back in my day.
Yep.
So just a top deck land from Willy, but it's the best land. You can animate this Soulstone Sanctuary. Is an outlaw for what it's worth.
Yep.
It's also not an outlaw.
Moving on to Enduring Curiosity.
Thank you, Jim.
Typically, I'm not going to lie. I think Enduring Curiosity is my most hated card in Standard, even before the bans, because the sinking feeling of this turn right here. Curiosity is cast, 2 cards are drawn, you're already behind, and you feel like the game is over, but you're at 13, you need to keep playing.
It reminds me a lot of, what was the one blue thing you'd put on creatures?
Curious Obsession.
Yeah, it's a lot about Curious Obsession. I remember testing for that Mythic Championship, and we just kept saying, put 2 on right away, because if they deal with your creature, you still got the cards back. So,
yep.
And now this makes it even better, because if you deal, air quotes, with Enduring Curiosity, if you don't kill it, you didn't even deal with it. You have to exile it. Exile. If you didn't exile it, you still didn't fully kill it, as it's still going to keep drawing you cards. So it's so incredibly powerful.
And the big part in this matchup is it's also just a big body. It's a 4/3.
Yeah.
It's a creature that you're more than happy to rumble with. It blocks well and still gives you an advantage. Card's great.
So Hired Claw played before combat here. That does trigger, so you lose 2 damage. That triggers the speed up to speed 3 immediately. And then Curiosity coming to just block this land. And a little boost from the Hired Claw.
Yeah, so Willy's scrapping here.
Yep. And I think this is a nice, putting Francisco to 13. I think if Willy had the option to put Francisco, yeah, maybe not. Because he took 3. Okay, life totals weren't fully updated. So, all right, just kidding. This is a little bit more awkward as now Cecil will get the ability to flip. But so that's a little brutal. Francisco's going to go to 9, but it's going to have a 4/4 lifelinker untapped.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, the shadow effect where this gameplay. Oh, okay, never mind.
Wow.
Not going to flip.
That seemed perfect, right? You gain 1. Cecil deals damage. You go down to exactly 10.
Cecil untaps too, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's an offense-defense thing. But
Is lesser, yeah, equal to, it would have transformed. So, interesting.
Staying home, playing some defense.
Okay.
The Preacher Man.
So good. Preacher of the Schism's kind of the go-to Demir anti-red card, as it has a big butt. 4 toughness is very hard to kill. And whenever you're behind, which is most times against mono red, being able to attack and get a lifelinker is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the real, like, if you're asking a Demir player what they want to play against, just look at their deck list and see how many creatures they have.
Yeah.
If they want to be, VV or decks that are more linear, more aggressive, or control decks, not as good there. It's too slow of a clock.
Yeah.
But against the decks playing creatures and the decks playing a lot of aggression, it's the perfect card.
Yeah, agreed. And I do love the flexibleness of these Demir decks. They really can transform into whatever they want. Of course, you can see their direction in their sideboard, but no matter what, they get to really be malleable for certain matchups, and that's the appeal to Demir. It's the classic, agency, if you will.
Yeah, it's the good player deck. Players who want to be able to beat everything.
Yep, absolutely.
51% against the field.
Gotta love it. Sometimes 49%, the classic Jund effect.
Yep.
All right, so Hired Claw gets traded and uses that remaining 2 mana to put another counter on Hired Claw. But Willy hellbent, or maybe has 1 card, and looking quite bad for Willy Edel. It looks like Francisco is able to even this up.
Yeah, I like how Willy's playing, though. He's just scrapping.
Yeah.
It's Hall of Famer for a reason. When you watch the best players in the world play, it looks like they should be out, and they just keep scrapping and scrapping. And Willy's probably going to lose this game.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, every 10th game, they kind of just find a way to sneak out a win. Exactly. And that's what separates the best in the world from your average player.
100%. The Reed Duke effect, if you will, probably the best at doing that. I have seen him continue to play games where I'm just like, all right, come on, buddy. And then I'm like, oh, my God, come on, buddy. You just took it down, you know? So I never question the greats.
High level Magic is about getting every percentage point you can at every point where, making the right choice perfectly and playing perfectly is not going to matter all the time. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Exactly. Good habits to get into, that's for sure. All right, another Preacher comes down. This time Cecil does flip. We're up to a comfortable 8. No 1 draw that can kill you here. There is a draw. The Hellkite could deal. You could deal 5 in this turn, which is still impressive. But that's just not enough. And Obliterating Bolt for Cecil, very timely.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
This turn had to start with Cecil dying. So that's step 1. Let's see what else Willy's got here in the tank.
That was indeed step 1. I think the tank might be empty here. We're doing some math. 4, 5, 6. We got 7 possible if that map hits. So doesn't look like lethal this turn, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a 5-step program.
Yeah.
Not a 1-step program.
It sure was.
And even if lethal's not going to happen here, we're going to see cards off Curiosity. I love the 8/8, the perfect symmetrical life total for the Preacher.
Yeah. Getting both is always just unfair.
Yeah, 4 cards coming off Curiosity, and yeah.
Yep. We're going to get 5 total cards drawn with the Preacher as well, plus go to 7, then back up to 8, then have a 1/1 lifelinker to block as well.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't have hated the map onto the bat to try and get a little more of a life buffer.
Yeah.
I think there's spare mana to spare, but it's hard to say because you're about to get a whole bunch of new cards.
Yeah.
So a lot to think about as far as what you're drawing, what you might want to play. That's the secret. So you reach over to your opponent's pad and just cross their life total out right at 0.
Smart stuff.
Oh, you're 0. You're at 0 actually. It's on your pad right here.
Wow, this is the classic story of how Jim should be DQ'd from his next tournament immediately.
But you are allowed to reach over and cross out your opponent's life and write a 0?
I don't think so. We can maybe get a judge in to confirm.
We'll talk to the judges.
But we'll confirm that for y'all.
Confirmation on that
for sure. Yeah.
Just cross that out.
Looks like there was a small life total discrepancy, and they are getting it evened out. I mean, hey, competitive IRL, you got to make sure everything is done exactly correct, as you're held at a higher standard when it comes to a tournament like this. But, there should be no draw that Willy would be able to top deck here to be able to clean this game up.
Yeah, often one of the cards that kind of is like the comeback card is Sunspine Links.
Yeah.
That's a lot of basics in play.
A lot of basics.
Francisco.
I believe if you have mismatch basics, it does count as a point, though.
Willy is still playing completely optimally here, so adding a counter to Higher Claw at the end step because of the life loss from Preacher.
Even though we regained it, I mean, that is just some tight magic there from our Brazilian Hall of Famer. And by the way, if y'all haven't heard of Willy Edel, well, maybe you haven't been paying close enough attention to competitive Magic back in the day. This is a phenomenal Magic player from Brazil, is always a part of that Team Brazil, where if you've ever been to a Pro Tour and someone from Brazil top 8s, you don't just see it, you hear it. They always have an awesome chant. They're always building up their community. It's really exciting. Willy Edel has 5 Pro Tour top 8s, 8 Grand Prix top 8s with a win, so no slouch here, Jim, by any means.
Yeah, Pro Tour New York, 2000 was his debut.
Oh, my.
About 7,000 years ago.
No kidding. Yep. I was 9. I was just about to start playing. Yeah, I was just about ready to go. So we'll take a look at sideboards one more time, starting with Willy Edel's side. Any changes that you make here, Jim, or is it kind of the same play draw here?
For the most part. I mean, I think that being on the play, you can expect Francisco to try and go a little leaner. Like you're saying, maybe have less copies of Kaido. But for the most part, it's business as usual. Keep Francisco off the board and get yourself on the board. And then as long as Francisco's playing from behind, Willy has an excellent chance to win.
Yeah. And I want to remind everyone, that was Francisco's keep of a one-lander on the play, and it really worked out. He definitely got rewarded for that slightly risky play because, I mean, hey, the rest of his hand was absolutely amazing and really worked out.
Yeah, I think that's a good skill to have, recognizing the texture of the matchup. Like, all right, this matchup isn't great for me. I know this hand has a chance of failure. I think it's unlikely that Willy will just kill this creature on turn 1 rather than play a 1-drop. So it's a risk. But if it pans out, I'll be in great shape.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about our next Spotlight series that we're going to be bringing you in. Oh, this is going to be an exciting one. It's going to be SCG Con Baltimore, and there's going to be webs everywhere. Going to be webs everywhere. It's going to be really exciting. So this is going to be our next Spotlight event. This is going to be standard. So this is going to be open to the public. If you want to show up and compete, you definitely can. Baltimore, a really fun city as well. We're going to have, of course, Spider-Man legal in standard by then. It's going to be October 24th through the 26th. Hashtag SCG Baltimore to get some more information, and StarCityGames.com/SCG Tour if you want to get some more information. Or /SCG Con, excuse me. I can read, I swear.
It's debatable.
It is debatable. Ton of stuff you can do there as well. We're going to be broadcasting that one on YouTube as well if you can't make it. Bunch of artists, special guests, city highlights. I mean, it's just going to be just really, really fun.
It's also pretty close to Halloween, and I will give a guarantee. I will personally give a high five to any person in the hall wearing a Spider-Man costume.
How much do you want to bet we're going to see? Like, I just picture I'm going to, leave the hall after a long commentating job, and I'm just going to see 4 people in Spider-Man pointing at each other in the lobby, and I'm like, come on. And then I'm going to laugh every single time because it cracks me up. I'm a big fan of Spider-Man. You as well?
Yeah, I'm a big Marvel guy.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Who's your Spider-Man? Is it Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, or Tom Holland?
I'm very old, so it's Tobey Maguire.
You're Tobey?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was what I saw when I was still a kid, so that was where, I felt that emotion from Tobey Maguire, and, I really felt that story. But I really do love them all. Andrew Garfield is just one of my favorite actors, too. He is phenomenal, so I love that as well. And, hey, even the Spider-Verse and all that stuff, I really enjoyed. Those are some great movies.
I'm a Tom Holland guy.
Okay.
I think he's great.
He's a good, very, very good actor. I love him. All right, so players getting ready for our third round here. We're going to have a metagame for you here starting in the next couple rounds. We don't know it quite yet, but believe it or not, Vivi is the most played deck But, maybe not as much as we had thought. So we'll have the rest of our team here working behind the scenes on everything. We got Nick Miller crunching the numbers as we speak. Going to be bringing you some deck techs. Got our phenomenal production crew as well, making this show possible. And here we go. Speed 1. Keanu Reeves is back with the Bastronaut.
Family.
Oh, you're crossing over movies here. Okay.
We're going everywhere.
I like it. All right, both players have a 1-drop. Spyglass Siren gets the map. Here comes the automatic take 1, as it does have Menace. Speed 2 is here and ready to go. And let's see what the follow-up is. No creature, though. You really want a creature on that turn.
Yeah. Definitely interaction. It has to be one or the other.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Francisco needs to be. If Francisco has the 1-land Spyglass Siren hand this time, that would be a little risky, but seems to be flush with lands.
Yep. Seems to have plenty. I saw Curiosity in hand. There is the what is it? Imitation Tactics?
I think Intimidation Tactics.
Intimidation. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
As we said, reading and so on and so forth.
Reading is difficult.
It's not easy.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Intimidation Tactics. Come down, takes an artifact or a creature, takes the Hellkite out. The only other big threat, and, well, we got 2 Burst Lightning and a Burst Lightning at home.
Yeah, this hand's pretty bad. This sort of reactive hand is kind of poor. It's interesting because
I did not love that play.
Ooh, all right, going for the map, getting shocked, but with Willy's hand is all interaction, and Francisco is trying to make land drops and kind of like get down the curiosities and stuff. You lose the texture of that, keep you off the board game because you aren't applying the pressure too.
Yeah. And I saw a glimpse of Francisco's hand. It was lands, Enduring Curiosity, and Cecil, so not great there either. So
yeah.
But Hired Claw here is actually a great draw. Any creature you can play here is phenomenal, especially with the texture of his hand. It doesn't even play the Cecil. Doesn't want it to die. What do you think of that?
It's tough. With Willy missing a land drop.
Okay, we drew a Drowner. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the creature draw is huge because, like I was saying, you don't want to have a bunch of kill spells to just kind of like try and be a control deck,
Yeah. So taps down the Hired Claw. Regardless of what happens, no matter what, the block wasn't going to be great for Drowner. So, honestly, tap down either one. It really doesn't matter that much. The same thing is probably going to happen. You're still going to boost up the Hired Claw, and you're still going to get damage in. And now we are max speeded up. So we do have a double striker now after this. But, hey, if you were able to attack with both, you get double strike before damage.
That is a cool interaction with the Hired Claw,
Very cool.
All right, but now it is Enduring Curiosity time, but Willy has the answer in hand, I believe. We saw a copy of Fiery Annihilation, which I believe exiles.
Yep, Fiery Annihilation, a great card. We also have another Burst Lightning in hand. Those are the 2 pieces of known information, so I love this play instead. Preacher and Cecil, diversify your threats. Maybe you can block a Menace creature, and we'll go from there. Looking great from Francisco again here.
Yep, bodies, get things in play. Try and get into the mid game. The longer the game goes, I think Francisco's happy. There are some big plays in Willy's deck, the Dragon, perhaps Sunspine Lynx, but for the most part, the longer things are going, the happier Francisco is. Ooh.
So there is the Annihilation on the Preacher. Deal with that straight away, and then you get to get in here for 2 damage. Excellent.
So this is good, but this does open the window for the Curiosity in Francisco's hand. There only is 1 Fire Annihilation in the entire deck list.
Yeah.
It's also 1 Obliterating Bolt. Sorry, 2 bolts total. So there are a few answers to Curiosity, but not a ton. That are clean.
The proactive Curiosity play here does not look great, though. Dealing yourself 2 in exchange for a card. Read the bones here up against a red deck is not necessarily the best thing you can be doing here. We might not see an attack and just see a pass of the turn. I would not be shocked for that.
Yeah, and honestly, that's not bad either. Like I was saying in the last game, the body of Curiosity, it's just big. It just blocks pretty well. When you're able to block and trade and leave behind a really good piece of material, that's a really good place to be.
The Bastronaut still can get through, essentially. It could get double blocked, and you could kill one of the creatures with first strike damage, but it would die with regular combat damage here. But going for the Drowner instead.
Interesting. So a little more interactive, a little less mana efficient.
Okay, so you could double block this, and that's not bad as well. We know about the other card, though, as a Burst Lightning. So it actually does not work out very well because, well, Now I think Willy is just thinking, should I give him the option of double blocking and kill both his creatures? Or, yeah, this is kind of the bait attack here. I mean, it's face-up information, so if Francisco remembered or wrote it down, this block is not going to work.
No, here it comes. Moments before disaster.
So now you get to go double pump and then say first strike damage on Cecil. That just came in this turn.
Yep. No worries.
Man, if Drowner had haste too,
I mean,
that would be even sweeter.
That honestly makes more sense. So the
Yeah.
fear of it for me for this turn was that wasting 2 mana when you're kind of behind like this is a really rough thing to be.
Yeah.
But if Francisco just mistakenly thought that the ability would be available as well, then it is all the mana you need. So
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense. So a little bit misstep. Tough year, of course, in the feature match area, playing against a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Welcome to the tournament. You won round 1, but hey, you get to play against probably the most accomplished player in the field. Nathan Stoyer is always here, so hard to argue with those. They both have very good careers.
Yep, that's definitely true.
Yep. Nathan just did all his stuff in one event or in one season.
Yep.
Really spread it out.
Yep.
Okay, big dragon. What a top deck. What a top deck. Enduring Curiosity there would not have been even that good.
Yeah.
Like, you were going to take 6 damage from the Bastronaut, but instead you top deck one of the only sweepers in your list to clean this up and leave Willy Edel on nothing. What a draw.
That's insane.
Oh, big game.
Yep. Exude Toxin. We'll to be exuding toxins here in a minute.
No kidding. That was incredible here. Now we have Curiosity to start getting the card advantage going.
Folks, look away, folks.
Oh,
if you have small children watching, please tell them to avert their eyes.
Well, it's still a trade. But yes, it's not great.
Yeah. It's not a great trade.
Yeah, trading, it's a half trade because the Curiosity still sticks around.
There's a reef in there, right? Is there a reef in there?
There is a reef.
Yeah,
There's multiple reefs.
Yep.
So, yeah, can't even attack because of that. It would not be a trade with the reef, so.
And this is where the Curiosity begins to take over.
Yes. Yeah, usually Curiosity kills the cat, but this time the cat kills you.
Yeah, and I like his attack here, too. 15 life is enough for me to feel comfortable. Like,
oh, yeah.
Let's get in, do some damage, draw some cards, get this game over with.
Yeah, you think about what's the worst that could happen to you, and it's like end step Lightning Strike, untap Nova Hellkite plus attack. That's 9 damage.
Right.
Great. I'm still going to beat you pretty badly.
Right.
Draw a couple cards, and then just, if you hit a 1-drop, you hit a removal spell or something, GG.
Yep. Land opens up almost everything, too. Most
Yep.
of it like is ones and twos.
All right, there is a Spyglass Siren. Get a map here. See if we want to crack it. If anything, why not? You don't want to give yourself the Nova Hellkite of killing my Spyglass. You at least give yourself a chance to make this a 2-2. Picks up those beautiful full art Edge of Eternity lands. They're nice.
I like old lands.
I know you do.
I'm an old man.
You really are. I love those full art ones.
The art is great. I will say the art, I'm not a big alternate art kind of person, but the special guest list or whatever it is for Edge of Eternities, the art on those cards is unbelievable.
So good. Space and card art just mix.
Yep.
It's just really good. Big fan. So Hired Claw gets boosted with the land and then gets a damage in. Then you put the counter on. So a grand total of 4 damage here. Nice 1-drop.
Yeah, it's still scrapping.
Yeah, definitely. And, Obliterating Bolt. We got a game here. One good draw deserves another here. Willy Edel had 2 ways to exile that Curiosity. Found one of them.
It's tough, though, because it's kind of already done its job. It's gotten in for some solid damage and drawn 3-ish cards, which is a lot.
That is very, very true.
Love a scrap, though. Willy's just going to keep on scrapping.
Yeah, and so far, Willy played against a Boros burn deck for round 1. Managed to squeak it out. And then plays this round 2. Willy's like, where's all this? Is it Cauldron decks?
VV who?
Exactly. All right, so doesn't even get in there with the land this time. I think I would have liked to just push the pressure because eventually red does get you. But hey, if Francisco's hand is bad And all he's doing is holding back reefs to do some blocking. There's those 2 alternate arts, so we do have 2 of them. That's okay, but not amazing. It will shut down Willy's attack here, almost assuredly.
Yeah, it's an interesting proposition. Do you want to race?
Yeah.
Or do you try and get the game over with? Or are you happy sitting back and playing a more controlling role?
Yeah, the more I look at this, the more I think holding back does look better. But, of course, if your opponent top decks a Nova Hellkite, you're like, dang, I wish I maybe should have got a little more aggressive. But that looked like another dragon off the top. I think that was another scavenger region, which now, just play the front side.
Yeah, it's funny because, there's only one on the list, but shuffles back in. So you step out and I'm like, Corey, we already played that card. Oh, right. Yep, it's an omen.
It's reading the cards things, man,
I have trouble reading, too. So.
Yeah. We're a great team.
I know, right?
All right, comes in, shrinks down the hired claw, so it's unable to block.
Yeah, it's now a vanilla 3/3.
I believe it's still a vanilla 2/2.
That's the counter on top, right?
Yeah. Yeah, can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or greater. So, yep, you're very right. It is a 3/3.
It has no ability. It still has types, though.
Yes, exactly. So you could boost it up with the land and make it a 4/3 to trade with a reef, but not the place you want to be, and you can see it on Willy's face.
No.
Not where he wanted to be here in round number 2 in game 3.
It's kind of the cool thing about Magic tournaments, too, where you have players who maybe woke up in their own bed this morning.
Yep.
You have players who flew in from Brazil. You just put them all in a room, make them play Magic against each other. It's great.
Absolutely. Nothing better. A solid trade. You're happy to trade a land for a powerful 1-drop.
Yeah, things are really turning Francisco's way here. We've hit that, almost mid to late game.
Yeah.
Bodies in play, still access to a reef, still cards in hand, and Willy, just not a lot going on.
No, not much. When you get to this stage of the game, there's not a lot of play to Willy's deck. It is a lot of, hey, I drew this, I have to play this. The masterful play came in right before we lost all our creatures to that Regent.
It's a big draw.
Yep.
It's a pretty exciting moment, too, You're playing the future match area, round 2 against a Hall of Fame player. You're down a little bit. You're getting scrappy. You pull that card. That feels good.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like that,
Absolutely.
Feeling alive this morning.
Gets in here for presumably 2. I wouldn't see any reason not to attack with the binder, but there is the Sewer King.
That'd be a slight misstep there as Lewis Skinner makes a token pre-combat.
Yeah, and I also think maybe we didn't attack with the Beast Binder.
Okay.
Because I think we were at 9. Maybe thinking the Soulstone can get activated and block, but it can't, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so maybe a slight misstep there, but hey, right now, Francisco has to do a couple, more missteps for Willy to have a chance for sure. And outside of these little minor things, Francisco's been playing some great Magic.
There's big picture stuff and there's small picture stuff,
Yeah.
So this little minutia here and there, but overall, this game has gone, about to script, I would say.
I would agree. Yep. So 4/3 coming in just like last turn. Another ability to animate this reef if you want to, or you can start getting in there with your actual creatures here. Goes for the Lord.
Dethroned.
Back to the sewer.
Yep.
And just a land, saying go from Willy. Probably assuming maybe it's a burn spell in hand, or it easily could be another land.
Ooh.
This is what I would be doing too. Jam.
Confident activation there.
Oh, yeah. Here comes an attack for 6. Willy down to 2. Even burst lightning. That's usually good enough at the end. Clearly doesn't have it. Looks like a handshake is on the way.
You could fire it up and give it haste. It is
Yep.
It is a mouse. It is a lizard. It's an otter.
And it's a GG.
And it's tapped. Yep.
As
All right.
Francisco Gonzalez takes it down to advance to 2-0 here at Magic Spotlight Planetary Rotation. That's got to feel nice to win a feature match here up against a